So enter wire supports. This is a tried and tested way of relieving weight from performers, or even flying an actor.
Yeah, there's just one problem with that. Not even the best special effects artists at the time could hide these wires on film. Douglas Trumbull was the special effects designer for the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey. This effects crew and director Stanley Kubrick are often cited by moon hoaxers as the people best able to pull off this hoax. And yet, not even Trumbull could hide cables on film. The only scenes where he used cables used the actors' bodies to hide them. In his article for American Cinematographer, he says, "Other apparently weightless effects, which took place during the excursions outside the spacecraft and in the brain room, were created by suspending the astronaut on wires and then shooting from directly below so that he would cover his own means of support." If not even Douglas Trumbull could hide the wires on film, how could anyone else manage to pull it off? But Percy's way ahead of everyone else. He's found something that he can lie and say that it is indeed a wire supporting the astronaut.
Of course, confirmation that wires were used is in the detail. Here in this Apollo 14 footage, you can see a ping, a momentary glint. And again, run slowly.
Yeah, right. Look where the glint is. It's right where the antenna on the astronaut's backpack would be. And the glint above that, obviously another lens flare. Sorry, Percy, but you're gonna have to do better than that if you want to convince anyone with a brain and a basic knowledge of photography. And his other examples are exactly the same. Why do the wires glint exactly where their backpack antennae are and not anywhere else ever? But for the rest, he falls back on the old slow motion canard.
Well, creating these 1/6 slow simulations would have been a relatively straightforward process. First, the scene would have been photographed and recorded onto videotape at the normal rate in the US, 30 frames per second. On playback, the recording would have been slowed down to half speed. Now this is how the jump salute would have looked at normal speed before being slowed down by the method just described. Looks rather like it would on Earth, does it not?
Wait a minute! We used that clip last time, and yet we got crazy motion of the arms. What happened? Why didn't Percy? Why does his shot look more normal? Moon hoax idiot Jarrah White says it's because Percy did it right and I'm the liar. Yes, he really does start his video like that. I know.
Most recently, Shane Killian released his expanded and remastered Bogosity series, episode 3 of which was a response video to Bart Zabrell's documentary A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. Having watched this clip that Killian showed, YouTube user 1+8 wrote in, stating that Killian had sped the footage up way too fast, and that's why it looked unnatural. You got this is a jump salute showing John Young jumping, hello, yeah, jumped up. Okay, now the conspiracy theory is that it's been slowed down by 50%, so if this clip was slowed down by 50%, what we would want to do here, go here, insert velocity, now we've got our velocity up here, now what we want to do now is increase its velocity by 50%. In this case, it's now up to... Yep, here we go.
Yes, that's right. He really speeds it up to 150%.
If Killian is being truthful with his representation of the velocity, his clip should match up exactly the same to ours.
Did the jumps look okay? Look at the arms. Isn't it clear that this is way too fast? These scenes were not shot in slow motion. Yes, that's right. This idiot actually thinks that if you have something at 50%, then to double it back, you make it 150%. Of course, anyone who's passed the 4th grade knows that it's 200% that's double, not 150%. Actually, in order to make it match Earth freefall, you have to increase its speed 246%. Because the Earth's gravity is about 6.04 times greater than the Moon's gravity, and 2.46 is about the square root of 6.04. 150% is just plain stupid. Let's do a quick experiment. I'm going to drop a weight from about knee-high, the same height as John Young's jump. Let's look at it full speed. Okay, now let's compare that to Young's jump. We'll have to speed the moon video up 246%. That's pretty close, isn't it? Now let's put Young's jump back to its original speed and slow mine down 2.46 times to 41%. There you are, more evidence than anybody could ever want. But Jarrah White made his video after seeing me perform this very same demonstration. But okay, he's just some idiot on the internet. So why does he matter? Well, look at what he's found.
David Percy had shown the exact same clip in his documentary, What Happened on the Moon. To see if David Percy sped his footage up correctly, we're going to play his alongside the Apollo Archive clip.
Normal speed before being slowed down by the method just described. Looks rather like it would on Earth, does it not?
Finally, watch as I play these two videos alongside the clip shown in Bogosity.
Normal speed before being slowed down by the method just described. Looks rather like it would on Earth, does it not?
Yes, that's right. David Percy made the exact same mistake. Now, in White's case, it may just be idiocy brought upon by a need to support his delusion. But with everything we've seen, I think it's very clear that in Percy's case, it can only be a lie.
And yes, we've done the necessary work to establish that percentage.
Bogus! He lies yet again when he debunks David R. Scott's feather drop.
Of course, that original demonstration by Apollo 15 doesn't in any way prove that it had taken place on the moon. Here we are in our London studio in 1G, complete with an atmosphere, and without the benefit of a vacuum chamber. There they go. As you can see, the feather and the hammer arrive on the ground at the same time. Now if we slow it down by the appropriate amount, lo and behold, these two items fall nice and slowly, as per a 1/6 G environment.
Okay, so what's wrong with that? Let's look at the slow version again and look at his hands. See, his hands didn't move after he dropped the objects, but Scott's did. See his arms? They move off to the side. Now let's see it sped up what we know to be the right amount, 246%. Look at that! Can you move your arms that fast? In a bulky spacesuit? I don't think so! And yet, Percy didn't even try to mimic Scott's arm movements in his experiment.